is beating a million miles per hour, and I'm shaking because I'm about to share with the world how much debt I am in. So get ready.
This woman just admitted she's $89,000 in credit card debt, and her story might save your financial life. Meet Miranda. She's a mom, a wife, and someone who just did something incredibly brave. She looked straight into a camera with her heart racing and shared a secret she's been carrying for 13 years. A number so big it makes her hands shake just thinking about it. And the reason she's telling her story isn't to get sympathy or advice. It's because she knows someone out there is heading down the same path right now, making the same mistakes she made, and maybe her story can stop them before it's too late. So what's the number?
Before I tell you the total amount, I want to preface this by saying I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm really not even looking for advice. I'm not looking for your opinions. There's nothing that you can say to me that I haven't already said to myself. This is 13 years worth of really bad financial decisions, being irresponsible, really bad mental health episodes. There's no excuse for it. I've been praying and I've been asking God to lift this off of my shoulders and to help me find a way to take care of this and to get ourselves out of debt so that I can stop saying things to my kids like, we can't afford that.
Miranda is currently carrying $88,811 in credit card debt. That's almost $90,000 spread across 11 different credit cards. And the scariest part? She can remember exactly how it happened.
Like I'm going to throw up. I'm ready to share my truth. I'm ready to share my story, to figure this out. Whether it takes a year or 10 years to get it paid off, I'm gonna take you guys through all of it, through the ups and the downs, hard times, the good times, and the amount of credit card debt that I am in. $88,811.
Every decision that led her here. Every moment where she chose short-term happiness over long-term security. And today, we're going to walk through her journey, understand how someone ends up in this situation, and most importantly, learn how to avoid making the same mistakes. Miranda's story starts like a lot of debt stories do, not with one massive purchase, but with a series of small decisions that seemed reasonable at the time. Life was complicated. Her husband traveled constantly for work. When he was home, she was juggling full-time college and a part-time job. They barely saw each other. Their relationship was suffering. Their family time was practically non-existent. And then, finally, the stars aligned. He got a week off work. She had a break from school. They had a real chance to reconnect as a family. That's when they started talking about taking a vacation, just getting away together, making memories with their kids, spending quality time as a family for the first time in months. It sounded perfect. It sounded necessary. It sounded like exactly what they needed. There was just one problem. They didn't have any money saved up. Now here's where the story gets interesting, because this is the moment where everything could have gone differently. This is the fork in the road.
This debt is spread out over 11 credit cards. This is just credit card debt. We have payments on these credit cards ranging from $30 all the way up to $620. This is why we are barely making it paycheck to paycheck, because all of our money is going to credit card payments.
They could have said, let's wait. Let's save up over the next few months and take this trip when we can actually afford it. But that's not what happened. Instead, they started looking at vacation options anyway, and they landed on Disneyland, the happiest place on earth, an 18-hour drive from their home in Washington state down to California. So how do you take a vacation when your bank account is empty? Miranda's solution was to apply for a new credit card. The ones she already had were maxed out, but she figured one more card wouldn't hurt. And honestly, this is where so many people find themselves. It's not that they're bad people or irresponsible, it's that they're human. They want good things for their families. They want to create memories. They want to feel normal and happy, even if it's just for a few days. And credit cards make it so easy to say yes to those feelings. Miranda got approved for about $5,000, and then she planned the entire vacation on that card. The hotel, the park tickets, gas for the long drive, every meal, every snack, and all the souvenirs. Everything. They maxed that card out completely, and they had an amazing time. The kids were happy. They reconnected as a couple. It felt like money well spent. It felt worth it. But here's the reality check. That vacation happened 10 years ago, and Miranda is still making payments on it today. Think about that. A 3-day trip to Disneyland has cost her a decade of monthly payments. The interest has probably made that trip cost double or triple what it originally did. Those magical memories came with a price tag that kept growing month after month, year after year. And that's just one story. Miranda says this is just one example of the impulsive decisions that led to her $89,000 in debt. One vacation, one moment of wanting something good for her family. Multiply that by dozens or hundreds of similar decisions over 13 years, and you start to understand how someone ends up here. The thing about credit card debt is that it sneaks up on you. You don't wake up one day with $90,000 in debt. It builds slowly. A vacation here, emergency car repair there, Christmas gifts for the kids, a new appliance when the old one breaks, medical bills that insurance didn't cover. Each purchase seems justified in the moment. Each time you tell yourself you'll pay it off next month. But next month comes and there's another emergency, another reason to swipe the card, another minimum payment to make. Miranda now has payments ranging from $30 a month all the way up to $620. Every single month, thousands of dollars leave her account just to pay credit cards. Her family lives paycheck to paycheck because almost everything they earn goes straight to these payments. And the worst part? Most of those payments aren't even reducing the debt. They're just covering interest. Let's talk about those interest rates, because this is where the real damage happens. Miranda finally forced herself to look at the numbers she'd been avoiding. Her highest interest rate is 27% on her Citi card. Her Kohl's card is at 24%. Her Chase card is at 20%. Her 3 Navy Federal cards, which hold her biggest balances, are all at 18%. When you're paying interest rates like that, you're basically running on a treadmill. You can run as hard as you want, but you're not actually going anywhere.
Let's talk about how much I pay per month on the minimum payments for my credit cards, because it comes out to more than the cost of my rent. I would love to know after you hear this if I'm paying more in my credit card debt than you are for rent or mortgage. You're gonna have your mind blown. So these are just the minimums. I am paying more than the minimum on one card at a time because we're using the snowball method. Currently, we are working on our Shields credit card. The minimum payment for that is $93, but I'm paying a lot more than that. It's the one that we're currently trying to knock out before the end of the year. Let's talk about it, okay? Shields, that is a $93 minimum payment. My Discover card is a $100 minimum payment. My Chase card is $150. My personal Star card is a $170 payment. My husband's Star card is a $180 payment. Our Visa Platinum card is $285 a month for the minimum payment. Our Cash Rewards card is $505 for the minimum payment. And our American Express is $630 a month for the minimum payment. When you add all of that up together, it comes out to $2,113 every single month that we are paying in minimum payments, plus extra, because like I said, we're paying more than the minimum payment on each card as we work on it. Let me know, is that more than your rent or mortgage?
Here's a quick example of how brutal this is. If you have a $10,000 balance on a card with 20% interest and you only make minimum payments, you could end up paying that card for over 20 years and spend more than $15,000 in interest alone. That's more than the original debt. You're literally paying double for everything you bought. So how do you avoid ending up like Miranda? The first lesson is pretty obvious, but really important. If you don't have the money for something, wait until you do. That vacation Miranda took. If they had saved up for 6 months instead of putting it on a credit card, they would have paid it off completely by now. Instead, they're still paying for it a decade later. Delayed gratification is hard. Really hard, especially when you're tired and stressed and you just want something good to happen. But credit cards turn temporary happiness into permanent problems. Second, understand that credit cards aren't free money. They feel like free money. You swipe, you get what you want, and the pain of paying comes later. But that pain does come, and it brings friends, interest, late fees, and stress that follows you for years. Before you make any purchase on a credit card, ask yourself if you'd still buy it if you had to hand over cash right now. If the answer is no, you probably shouldn't buy it on credit either. Third, emergencies happen. That's life. But there's a difference between an emergency and something you really want. A broken water heater is an emergency. A vacation is not. New tires when yours are bald and dangerous? Emergency. New shoes because you saw them on sale. Not an emergency. Learning to tell the difference can save you thousands of dollars over time. Fourth, if you already have credit card debt, stop using the cards. Seriously, put them in a drawer. Freeze them in a block of ice. Cut them up if you have to. You can't get out of a hole if you're still digging. Miranda is learning this the hard way. She's trying to pay down debt while still having cards available for emergencies, which makes it so much harder to make real progress. Fifth, look at your interest rates. Like, actually look at them. Miranda avoided this for years because she knew it would stress her out, but knowing is important. If you have high interest rates, call your credit card company and ask for a lower rate. The worst they can say is no. If you're in the military, look into SCRA benefits. Miranda got her Discover card rate dropped from 27% down to 5.9% just by applying. That's a massive difference. Some cards also offer balance transfer options where you can move high-interest debt to a lower-interest card. Just watch out for transfer fees and make sure you're actually saving money. Sixth, tackle the smallest debts first or the highest interest rates first. There are two main strategies. The snowball method means paying off your smallest balance first, which gives you quick wins and motivation. The avalanche method means paying off your highest interest rate first, which saves you the most money. Both work. Pick whichever one keeps you motivated. Here's something else Miranda's story teaches us. Mental health matters when it comes to money. She mentions that bad mental health episodes contributed to her debt. When you're depressed, anxious, or stressed, it's really easy to make impulsive decisions. Shopping can feel like therapy. Buying something new can give you a temporary boost, but that boost fades fast and the debt sticks around. If you notice you're spending money when you're emotional, that's a red flag. Find other ways to cope. Talk to someone. Go for a walk. Do something that doesn't cost money and doesn't create problems for future you. Miranda also talks about something that hits really hard. She has to tell her kids we can't afford that all the time now. That's the real cost of debt. It's not just numbers on a statement. It's missed opportunities. It's saying no to your kids. It's stress that keeps you up at night. It's arguments with your spouse. It's feeling trapped and helpless. The stuff you bought years ago is still controlling your life today. But here's the thing, Miranda is doing something really brave now. She's not hiding anymore. She's facing this head-on. She's documenting her journey to pay off this debt, whether it takes 1 year or 10 years. She's sharing the ups and downs, the wins and the setbacks. And that kind of transparency is powerful. Not just for her, but for everyone watching who might be in a similar situation. Getting into debt is easy. Getting out is hard. It takes discipline, sacrifice, and time. A lot of time, but it is possible. People do it every day. They make a plan, stick to it, and slowly chip away at the mountain until it's gone. It's not fast. It's not glamorous, but it works. If you're watching this and you're starting to see yourself in Miranda's story, don't panic, but do take action. Look at your credit card balances today. Add them up. Look at your interest rates. Look at your monthly payments. Be honest with yourself about where you are. Then make a plan, even if it's small, even if it feels impossible. Just start. Stop using credit cards for things you can't afford. Build an emergency fund, even if it's just $50 to start. Pay more than the minimum whenever you can. Every extra dollar you put toward debt is a dollar that's not generating interest. Cut expenses where you can. Maybe you don't need that subscription service. Maybe you can cook at home more. Small changes add up over time. And remember, you're not alone. Miranda is $89,000 in debt and she's still getting up every day trying to fix it. If she can face that number, you can face yours. There's no shame in making mistakes. The shame is in not learning from them. Miranda's story isn't over yet. She's just getting started on this journey. But by sharing it, by being vulnerable and honest, she's already helping people. She's showing that it's possible to hit rock bottom and still decide to climb back up. She's proving that you can make terrible financial decisions for years and still turn things around. It won't be easy. It won't be quick, but it's possible. So the next time you're about to swipe that credit card for something you can't actually afford, think about Miranda. Think about those 10 years of payments for one vacation. Think about those 11 cards with minimum payments eating up every paycheck. Think about having to look at your kids and say you can't afford something because of choices you made years ago. Then ask yourself if what you're about to buy is really worth all that. Your future self will thank you. Hit subscribe to follow more stories like this.